Hey YouTube. So I just want to do another update on the Ontario Blackbird SK-5 Nori. I switched and changed and did a different type of sharpening method this time. I went with an Arkansas stone. I'm fairly good at doing hand sharpening. I know I do a pretty decent job with axes and hatchets and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I haven't really done that for a long time, especially since I got the Spyderco Sharp Maker years and years ago, and I kind of just use that because it works. So I was like, apparently it's not going to be working at the angle that I need. I tried both angles from the Sharp Maker, the 40 and 30 degrees, full range, and it's a no-go. Of course, you can just lay down the stones on the back side of the Sharp Maker and do a hand sharpening there too. But I just had some really decent, pretty rough. I mean, in terms of coarse, pretty coarse Arkansas stones, like a whole bunch of different types. So I found the coarsest one. I was like, man, I don't care. I'm gonna have to take some material off on this secondary bevel. And so I don't think I took very much off of it at all, if any, but I did get this thing kind of pretty sharp now. Kind of shocked me though. It only took me a few minutes too. I was like, whoa. So apparently I need a little bit more of, it's a steeper edge. I mean, I believe it is, at least. It seems like it's a pretty steep bevel because it's so short and shallow there. Anyways, it's cutting paper like about 2 to 3 times better now than it was. And the blade is almost too sharp to even touch without being worried. I was able to kind of shave a little bit of hair off, and then I even put a little bit more of an edge on it after that. So I think now this is going to be woods worthy. Still for bushcrafting though, is it still ideal? That's to be seen. I'll have to maybe re-look and re-examine the blade now that it has a working sharp edge. But overall, the spear points for me, typically don't really go with that. But of course, this is really much more of a survival knife, obviously. I don't think it was supposed to be a full-on bushcraft knife, even though it is sewed sometimes like that. And a lot of books that I have actually feature this knife in the book, or books, and whole websites and people swear by it. And I could see that, if you really had a lot of times in the woods, a lot of experience behind this knife, there's probably ways to increase the the usefulness of it. And you probably have, a lot more experience as well, hand sharpening it like I just started to do with this. Apparently this is the only knife that I really have to do that, because apparently a lot of the other types of sharpeners, I even have another, like a little handheld ceramic sharpener by Gerber, and that totally didn't work either. But so I just want to do a quick update and just say, hey, sometimes if one or two methods don't work, try a third. The third really was the winner. So for me, maybe it's different for you because you might have a different bevel. Sometimes the quality on some brands, just even name brands, can be hit and miss. And for me, it was the Arkansas stone. It was a pretty coarse. I don't know what number it was, but I'd say it's fairly coarse. So I still may go back and work myself up to less and less coarse and refine the edge. But, this is going to be a working knife. I want a working edge. I don't need some kind of super high-end polished blade bevel. So with that, though, thanks for listening. And, if you're still, set on getting one of these, that's up to you. They have come a little bit down in price since I bought one. They're like $10 to $15 cheaper now, at least. I think I may have seen it as much as $20 cheaper if you get the one that doesn't have the black coating. And once again, the black coating's a joke. I wouldn't even get the black coating now. But they do have different sheath options and colors, and even the handles, I believe, were a little bit different color. And that was the main reason I really got the black coating, because of the the black sheath, and I think the handle was a little bit different. I think this is kind of more like a greenish tan. It's kind of hard to tell because the more moisture and the more oils from your hand gets on it, the darker it gets. But when you let it dry out, it gets a lighter tone. So that's kind of cool, but it could even be more like a coyote brown. I don't know. It's kind of like a hybrid color depending on how dry it is and what you're doing with it. But as always, you guys be safe. And when it comes to knives, everybody has a different feeling and a different interest level. So it's always a challenge to try to recommend knives for other people. I'll do my best, but just remember though, it's all price sensitivity. You know, well, it's all price sensitive is what I'm saying, and it's all about what you want to do with it, and how big and how small and all this stuff. Blade steels are a big deal too, you know. That's why I was like, man, this is a great stainless steel, which it is. 154 cm is just kick butt. I have actually flexed this, maybe maybe 1/8 of an inch at most. I've flexed this doing batoning, and no problem. Still straight as an arrow. And so I think it could probably be a pretty hard use knife. I just kind of wonder a little bit because of the Rockwell hardness. I do believe it's pretty freaking high. If it would actually have a little less flex and be more apt to snap, I don't know. It's not like I've actually heard that with anybody, so I don't think that's probably a problem. But as always, be careful and stuff. And if you're considering this knife, just think twice and do a little more research and see of all the problems and see if you want to get in the middle of all that. Because there's so many other knives that don't have any problems that when you get it, you're good to go. So take care.